Hi, today I want to talk about the make money online world because if you've spent any time online at all, I'm sure you've probably seen the videos, the flashy cars, the luxury holidays, the screenshots, the promises of making tens of thousands of pounds in a week, working only 2 hours a day from your laptop. Hi, if you don't know me, my name is Leslie and I work as an affiliate marketer, predominantly on Facebook, but I'm sharing my journey here online. So these videos that you see, the message is usually the same, and it usually is just follow my system. Now, I'm not saying every person online is dishonest because I'm certainly not dishonest. And of course, I'm going to say that, aren't I? And there are absolutely people teaching genuine skills and helping others build businesses. But I do think there's something important people need to understand when they first come online. And that is a lot of people in this industry don't actually make most of their money from the business model that they teach. They make it from selling the course about the business model. And once you start noticing that pattern, you see it everywhere. Amazon FBA courses, drop shipping blueprints, trading academies, affiliate marketing programs. Many follow a similar structure. Low ticket entry, then upsells, then coaching, then mastermind groups, then high ticket inner circles. And before you know it, people have spent hundreds or even thousands of pounds trying to learn how to make money online without actually making any money online. And honestly, I understand why it happens. Because when you're struggling, you start thinking, maybe I just need that next course. Maybe I'm missing one secret piece, or maybe the next mentor has the answer. I went through some of that myself. When I first came online in October of 2022, I had absolutely no clue what I was doing. I had no Facebook profile, no marketing background, no understanding of funnels, traffic, or content. And I genuinely thought an avatar was the blue character from the film and not actually my ideal buyer, as it turned out. And because I was such a beginner, I believed the people who looked successful must know something I didn't. So I spent months, literally months, learning technology, 5 months, building websites, a website nobody ever saw, paying for tools I barely understood, watching endless training videos, hoping something would suddenly click. I mean, that 404 page showed up so many times, it was doing my head in. And the truth is, I made things far more complicated than they needed to be. At one point, I honestly thought perhaps online business just wasn't for me. But over time, I realized something important. Sometimes the issue isn't effort, sometimes the issue is actually the model itself. Some businesses models take huge amounts of time, money, or technical skills before you ever see a result. And psychologically, that can become exhausting, especially for beginners, because waiting months and months for one big commission can start feeling like chasing a mirage. You keep working, you're learning, you keep hoping, but nothing tangible ever seems to happen. And I think that's why so many people, excuse me just a minute, quietly give up. Not because they're lazy, but because they lose belief in themselves, belief in what they're trying to do. That's one of the reasons I ended up preferring a much simpler approach. Small, consistent commissions coming in regularly. Not hype, not theory, not pretending to be rich online. Just something practical that actually works. And for me, that became OLSP. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's magic because it isn't magic. No program can guarantee success. You still have to learn, you still have to show up, and you still need to take action consistently. And what I personally liked about OLSP and still like was how grounded it felt compared to a lot of what I'd seen online and what I'd spent the first 5 months of being online experiencing. Now, the entry cost was low. When I joined, it was $49, and there was upsells and upsell after upsell. But that upsell is up to you for you to decide. Nobody's forcing you. There's no conditions. You can join now for $7 and you can make money without ever taking an upsell. But what happens is you'll see how this works and you'll want to take that upsell because it's not magic, but the clarity that you have simple tasks that you follow through on. And the best part is the system itself is already set up. I didn't need to build complicated websites or funnels myself. And instead of chasing one massive payday months down the line, I started seeing similar commissions coming in consistently. My very first commission was a grand $7.80. But honestly, psychologically, that makes a huge difference because those small wins build belief. They help you realize, actually, this does work. And maybe I can do this after all. And I think that is incredibly important for beginners, especially people coming online later in life. I know people who have been online for 2 years, not made a single commission. So it is important to have simple. And I know most of the people that I come in contact with aren't looking for Lamborghinis. They're looking for a little bit of breathing space, a little extra income, a couple of £100 a month, which gives them a bit more flexibility and more choices of how they spend the time and what they do. And also less pressure, less anxiety when you're worrying about money all the time. It puts pressure on your nervous system, it puts pressure on you mentally, and stress is very destructive. And I think this is why the reality for most ordinary people is exactly that: less stress, more freedom, more flexibility. And that's how I certainly see it now. And I'm not a millionaire. But affiliate marketing has helped me create a comfortable lifestyle while working around my life instead of sacrificing my life completely for work. That matters far more to me these days than flashy lifestyles online. And one thing I really respect about OLSP is that the owner, Wayne Kroll, has always stayed very visible inside the community. Weekly trainings, Facebook Lives, Q&As, consistent teaching, not disappearing once people join. And that made a huge difference to me as a beginner because I needed guidance, not just another sales page. And that guidance is there. I could choose whether to jump in and join it. I could decide whether to watch the replays, but I could never say that there wasn't somebody helping me. And something else I like now is that they've changed the system slightly since I joined. People can actually earn while they're learning, which I think is pretty awesome because that certainly wasn't available when I started. Again, it's not glamorous, but practical often matters more than glamorous, especially when you're trying to build confidence online. So if you're watching this and you're exhausted by all the hype, all the pressure, and all the unrealistic promises online, I'd simply encourage you to ask yourself one question. Is this genuinely helping me build income? Or is it just encouraging me to keep buying things? Because there's a very big difference between learning a real skill and constantly chasing the next shiny object. At the end of the day, the goal isn't to chase gurus. It's to build something sustainable that actually works for your life, even if it starts small. If you'd like to take a look at the program that I use, OLSP, I've left the link down in the description for you to have a look at in your own time. And if you enjoy honest conversations about affiliate marketing, building online later in life, and keeping things simple, don't forget to like and hit the subscribe button and follow along. Anyway, thank you for listening, and I'll see you on the next one.